right. If you have been following my channel, you'd know that I cover uh, bad behavior of our Indian passengers online. And, some of them are pretty comical, some are serious, some are really bad. Some of them are disgusting, like peeing on someone when they are simply not doing anything, misbehaving with the air hostess, touching them, or even in one case where this guy, young student, college student, pushed a stewardess into the toilet. I don't know what was he thinking. And then, yes, we have the latest one where Hindu guy started screaming, Allahu Akbar, I'm going to blow up the plane. So our Indians always have this thing, this bone of contention. Hey, when will you talk about Pakistani? When you talk of other nationalities, why you're only targeting Indians? Well, your wish has been granted, and finally we have a Pakistani who has done something so obnoxious that I finally decided to talk about him, and this is courtesy Daily Mail Online. Can you believe? And this is not an ordinary Pakistani. It seems to be very rich, and he has done one of the most obnoxious things I think I've read about in a very long time. So grab your popcorn and just relax, listen to it, because you're not going to believe this one. Okay, so the title of the title of this article is Air Rant Terror. A moment when Virgin Atlantic passenger threatened to gang rape and set alight a stewardess in a wild tirade in front of his wife and 3 children. Okay. Now, before you think that this is a typical Pakistani or a Pathan or who's dressed up like a laborer, no, he is wealthy and very rich, based in London. So he's a recruitment boss who threatened to gang rape and set alight Virgin Atlantic stewardess. And unfortunately for him, even though he's so rich, he is filthy rich, by the way, I'll tell you more about him. He's been jailed for 15 months. So what did this guy do? First and foremost, let's get his name. This handsome, dashing looking guy. His name is Salman Iftikhar, 37 years old. Was staying in the first class with his wife and 3 children when he unleashed a wild tirade on Angie Walsh. Angie Walsh, she was the stewardess, at 39,000 feet from a flight from London Heathrow to Lahore, the whore of Lahore. The father, who has been binging on champagne, hurled death threats, racist abuse at the cabin crew on the 8-hour flight, after which he was told to stop helping himself from the ice on the onboard bar. Okay, by the way, if you are very sensitive to profanity, bad words, and sexual language, I think you better close your ears or move away from your children, because this is not appropriate at all. Because he called him, I'm going to start, okay, so I give you the warning. Make sure that nobody young is listening to this. So, this is what he said. He called Miss Walsh B. B is for doggy, F is for, okay. And told her that she would be dragged out of the hotel room, gang raped and set alight. Comments which she said left her broken and traumatized. Then Mr. Iftikhar, the handsome guy, also tried to fight another stewardess, and he threatened to blow up the floor of the Avari Lahore, the whore of a hotel, Avari Lahore Hotel, where the cabin crew were due to stay. He also knows that, okay. In one clip, they took a couple of video clips. Iftikhar's 100 rants during the trip could be heard by everyone, because he accused Miss Walsh of being racist and said, "You call me a Paki in front of everybody." Well, Pakistani, I don't know. Maybe it's a bad slur? Okay. All this unfolded in front of Iftikhar's wife and children, who were crying and pleading with him to stop, and had to be comforted by the cabin crew as he continued to hurl abuse the entire flight. I don't know who pissed him off. Maybe it was that time of the month. You kind of get your periods or something. Or maybe he was pissed off. Or maybe he was drunk. Iftikhar was finally arrested at his 900,000 British pounds detached home in Iver, Buckinghamshire, on 16th May 2024. March. Oh, so okay, March. April, May, June, July, August. 5 months ago. In front of a villa outburst. But you might think this is an old article, but trust me, it's not over. He still has a couple of fantastic, mind-blasting stuff which he did. We can go to this photograph here. He admitted to making threats to kill and radically aggravate himself at Isleworth Crown Court and was jailed for 15 months. Mr. Iftikhar was seen drinking champagne on board a bar where he was talking to the cabin crew, said Prosecutor Abdul Kapadia. Ah, so many Indian Pakistani names. Okay, UK looks like it is filled with Indians and Pakistanis. During the defendant's first meal, the defendant was seen himself helping himself to ice, leaning over the bar and drinking and taking the ice in his hands. Not good, Iftikhar, sir. And then when he was told to stop, the defendant became irate, started filming the cabin crew with his phone and telling them, "Do not tell me what to do, you be female doggy." Okay. When asked by the cabin crew to return to the seat, he once again said, "Don't tell me what to do, you racist." And B, that is female doggy. Do you know where you're from? I know where you're from in Cardiff. The pilot was contacted and turned on the seatbelt lights. But the defendant shouted and said, "Look at this female doggy having the seatbelt sign on when there's no turbulence. What the E and no F. What the F is this female doggy doing?" But Iftikhar returned to his seat and called another crew member, Angie Walsh, the word F, which I use generally, and female doggy B. What are these? These are Angie and her sisters, steward Claire Walsh. Both are sisters. Poor thing, they look rather traumatized. Okay, then Mr. Kapadia said the defendant's behavior became worse. The cabin crew even decided, let's go to Turkey, let's divert. But the defendant was informed this possible diversion. He said, "I don't give a F." See, look at his handsome face. Because he's rich, he doesn't give an F. His wife was ashamed, his 3 children on board, and the crew members were called to assist. Because the 3 children were there, he was slurring words, shouting, "Do you know who I am? Yes, you are a very drunk British Pakistani." The defendant's wife went to the food bar, tried to talk to the cabin crew, but the defendant pushed his wife away and shouted her, "Don't talk to the crew." The crew then stabilized the wife's arm, prevented her from falling. Too much drama, man. Oh, by the way, there's a nice photograph here of him wearing a nice suit. Then what happened? The defendant got up, threatened to fight with the cabin crew. He grabbed one of the flight attendants called Tommy Merchant and told him to shut up. He told Merchant, "Do you know who I am? F word off. You should know who I am. Come on, you heard me. Let's go now." Staff tried to calm him down. I think the reason why they're so patient with him is because he was a first-class passenger. Money goes to your head and makes you do crazy stuff. But Mr. Iftikhar leaned forward, grabbed Miss Walsh's hand, squeezing it and saying, Iftikhar called Mrs. Walsh a F word and white Welsh C word. C is the private part. The C, calm. I don't want to say it. Okay. Mr. Kapadia also said, the defendant then threatened to blow up the floor of the Avery Lahore hotel, the whore. Okay. The defendant knew the hotel, but also knew the hotel numbers. How the hell did he know this? Very smart guy. Okay. And still not over, because he said, "You're going to be dead on the floor of your hotel." And he shouted, "The white sheep, SH something, B word, female doggy, will be dead. The floor of your hotel will be blown up, kaboom." Okay. And defendant said this when his 3 children were crying and pleading him to stop. The details of the hotel turned out to be correct. By the way, he has another nice photograph. Look, like the expensive car here. Rich guy, a lot of money. Then Mr. Kapadia said when the plane landed in Pakistan, no action was taken. After all, he's a rich guy. Why should the Pakistani authorities take action? But Miss Walsh sat in the court with the sister, Claire Walsh, who's also a Virgin flight attendant in their uniform. She told how she took 14 months off work in a victim impact statement to the court. She said, I feel like what happened that day changed my life enormously. I can't believe one passenger had so much impact in my life, my job, my career, and my life. Why is my dog barking like a piece of shit? Okay. He's acting like that passenger only. I've been flying with Virgin Atlantic for 37 years, working with all their flights. We were even grounded on 9/11. I've even flown into a war zone, but this incident broke me. Oh my goodness, Mr. Iftikhar had that much of an impact. I don't feel strong anymore. I was abused for 8 hours, 15 minutes. Oh, it broke me. It's a very personal attack. Too much drama, man. This lady. Who's the lady? See? Oh, lady, it has affected me. Maybe she was hoping that she would get paid millions. I hope she got paid something. I've been doing everything in my power to protect the passengers and the crew from him. I felt exposed, vulnerable, as we were 39,000 feet in the air. I think maybe she was thinking like Superman, maybe she would have to fly. There was a moment I couldn't cope up. I went to the cockpit and had a meltdown. The captain said, I don't know what to do. Even threatened to move the plane to Turkey, Baku, or Azerbaijan. But no effect. The guy was still blah, 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 blah. Never in my 37 years of my life was I unsure what to do. I've had the best career in my life, 37 years. He has taken it away from me. Poor lady. So he was being cleared of assault by beatings and threats in relation to Mr. Merchant. He was cleared. Oh, very good. But he admitted making threats and racially aggravated harassment. Ben Walker Nolan, defending Mr. Iftikhar, said he is suffering from amnesia blood loss, which contributed to what happened. No, I don't think so. I think he is mentally off his cuckoo and he has a temper issue and he is a violent person. I don't think he would have physically harmed these ladies, but then again, it looks like he has a major temper issue with alcohol. I think it adds up. The defendant has buried his head in the sand for a long period of time and expressed regret. Yeah, being a lawyer, you'll of course say that bullshit. He has a long standing drug and alcohol problem. Oh, that I believe 100%. He is a successful businessman who employs a lot of people. Imagine if he talks to them also like this. Iftikhar had 6 previous convictions. Oh, he's a repeat performer. 15 offenses, including common assault in 2004, drinking and driving 2008. He was fined in 2021 of 3,000 British pounds, caught drunk driving, as well as the influence of cannabis in a Rolls Royce. Rich man with drinking and drugs problem. Family members wept at the public gallery as the judge, Miss Recorder Annabel Darlove, said, your threats to kill were made in the presence of children, especially your own. These threats signify violence. Your children had to be comforted by the cabin crew whom you made those threats. Miss Walsh has given up a job she loved for 14 months, but thankfully has now returned to work. This was a sustained incident which involved repeated racist abuse. You have a lengthy and appalling record of misconduct. You have not addressed the problem. And you have a drug and alcohol problem. Given your lifestyle and your ability to earn money, your harm and risk has not been moved. This is appalling. So Iftikhar, who appeared in a dock wearing grey suit, pink shirt, oh, nice colors, and a yellow tie, wept as he was jailed for 50 months. According to his LinkedIn profile, he's a director and founder of a recruitment firm. The Virgin Atlantic spokesperson said the safety and security of our customers, yeah, that's all bullshit. They will always call this, jargon-filled words, which a lawyer wrote. We are grateful to Annie and her cabin crew who dealt with this and blah, 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 whatever. And that is where the article ends. So here we finally have one nice little Pakistani friend who has finally given me content for your entertainment. What did you think? Do you think this guy should have been given a longer jail sentence? These are the two ladies, as you can see on the screen. Yeah, you can see their photos, yeah. And this is the handsome, dashing, smashing guy. Looks like a nice guy, very dynamic, very smart, intelligent. But when you have a drug problem, when you have an alcohol issue, and when you have emotional, mental, and a temper issue, not a very good combo. And in front of his 3 children, if he behaves like this, Oh, Allah, help me. Anyway, this is what I wanted to share. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And finally, my Indian friends, Indian brothers and sisters, you got your wish. Finally, we have a Pakistani, British Pakistani, who does a bad boy thing. Good, bad, ugly, feel free, comment down below. This is me signing off. Yalla, bye.